Introduction about Ajinomoto groups. The Ajinomoto group's amino acid discovery led to the introduction of the world's first umami seasoning. Most development, the amino acid found in the traditional Japan seaweed is the source of umami. The savory fats taste found in many foods. Apollo Food Holdings Berhad is a Malaysia-based holding company. The company is principally engaged in manufacturing and trading in compound chocolates.
Ajinomoto Malaysia Berhad is primarily engaged in manufacturing and selling Ajinomoto product and other seasoning and food items. The company operates through two segments, including consumer business segment and industrial business segment. Consumer business segment consists of manufacture and distribution of customer product including Ajinomoto, flavor seasoning, tube mix, menu seasoning and others. Industrial business segment consists of manufacture and distribution of monosodium glutamate for industry use, industrial seasoning and related products. The Ajinomoto Group story began in 1908 when scientist Dr. Kikuné Ikeda discovered that the amino acid found in traditional Japanese seaweed soup. The Ajinomoto Group continued to pioneer amino acid research and create solutions supporting numerous industries to help people to eat well and live well. Apollo Food Holding Berhad was founded on 5 March 1994 as a private limited company. The company subsequently converted as a public list company on 8 September 1994 and was listed under consumer sector in Bursa Malaysia. The company operates by two segments, which investment and manufacturing sectors. Apollo product was divided into two main categories, chocolate wafer product and layer cake and Swiss roll product. Currently, there's about 24 products had been produced by company.
For my part, is ratio analysis Ajinomoto and Apollo Food in 2019 and 2020. In our report, we have 15 parts of ratio analysis, such as current ratio, quick ratio, net working capital, asset turnover, account receivable, average collection period, inventory turnover, fixed asset turnover, debt ratio, time interest earned, return on equity, return on asset, gross profit margin, operating margin, and lastly is net profit margin. And that's all for me. Thank you.
Next is comparative analysis between Ajinomoto Foods Sdn Bhd and Apollo Foods Sdn Bhd in 2019 and 2020. As you can see in the table, shows that the difference amount in total between the two companies, which one is higher and which one is lower. In this part, it compares the type of ratio, activity ratio, and leverage or debt ratio. There are three types of ratio. The first one is current ratio, the second is quick ratio, and the third is net working capital. For activity ratio, it will compare about the total assets turnover, account receivable turnover, average collection period, inventory turnover, and the last one is fixed assets turnover. The last table shows that the comparative total for debt ratio, debt to equity, and time interest earned ratio. That's all.
An analysis is very important to do because it can help client or investor choose which company or firm is suitable to invest in based on small and large risks. So as we know nowadays, the COVID-19 pandemic is the biggest crisis experienced by everyone. Apollo Foods Holding Berhad and Ajinomoto Berhad also did not escape from this pandemic. Among the effect experienced by these two companies is that the factories has to be closed because the country has implemented PKP everywhere. When the government give flexibility to companies to operate, many workers has to be laid off because the government has set the capacity of the number of workers who can work. When both companies lay off many of these employees, this give also effect to the company where the company cannot produce many goods at one time as per demand from the customer, then this make company lose. But there are also positive effect to the company. Positive effect is they can expand their knowledge in selling their product in online, such as shopping apps like Shopee and Lazada, because it is very faster and save customer time. So, if we are investor, we will choose a company to invest in Ajinomoto Berhad because the company's net profit margin is higher than Apollo Food Holdings Berhad. In addition, they also attract many buyers by making discount for the product produced. Therefore, we will choose the company Ajinomoto Berhad. So, in the conclusion is that both companies have their respective advantages and disadvantages as seen in the analysis done. So, because of that, we should make an analysis before choosing a company to invest in for the good of the long term and so that our company does not suffer any high loss.
Reference and appendix about company that we choose is Ajinomoto and Apollo Food. Here I want to display some reference and appendix about Ajinomoto and Apollo Food company that we get from company annual report in Bursa Malaysia.